Monday, December 12. The body as a temple. The dualistic theory of a mortal body with an immortal soul has generated various theories about the human body. For example, for ancient Greek philosophers, the human body was the prison of the soul, which was liberated by death. In an echo of this pagan concept, many Christians today believe that the body is the temporal housing of the immortal soul, which will be reintegrated with the body at the resurrection. By contrast, pantheists make the human body divine. They believe that God and the universe are one and the same. For them, all things are God, and the human body is part of the one, single, integrated, and universal divine substance. Surrounded by conflicting theories on the subject, we must stand firm on what the Bible teaches regarding the nature of humanity. Read 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 19 and 20, and 1 Corinthians 10:31. How can the understanding that our bodies are the temple of God and the temple of the Holy Spirit positively influence our lifestyle? 1 Corinthians 6, verses 19 and 20. Or do you not know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have from God, and you are not your own? For you were bought at a price. Therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. And 1 Corinthians 10:31, therefore, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. Both Adam and Eve were created in God's own image and likeness, which was reflected not only in their character, but also in their physical aspects. We now look at Genesis 1, verses 26 and 27. Then God said, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him, male and female he created them. Because that image was marred and even hidden by the presence of sin, the work of redemption is to restore human beings, including their physical health, to their original condition, to the degree possible for beings unable to partake of the tree of life. This restoration is a lifetime process that will be completed only at Christ's second coming, when the corruptible puts on incorruption and the mortal becomes immortal, as we read in 1 Corinthians 15, verses 53 and 54. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So, when this corruptible has put on incorruption, and this mortal has put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. The Apostle John wrote to his friend Gaius in 3 John chapter 1, verse 2, Beloved, I pray that all may go well with you, and that you may be in good health, just as it is well with your soul. If we recognize that a human being is an indivisible entity, and that religion embraces all aspects of human life, then we should consider the protection of our physical health also to be a religious duty. We should be guided by the inspired principle of 1 Corinthians 10:31, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. But remember that we still live in a world where good people can do their best and yet suffer the consequences of a sinful human nature and a sinful environment. So we should trust in God and do our best, and we leave the results with God. This lesson was read by Dr. Percy Harrold for Christian Services for the Blind. Sponsored by the Sabbath School Department and distributed through Hope Channel Australia, this podcast is also redistributed by Hope Channel Germany, Christian Record Services for the Blind. It is also available on SoundCloud and through multiple podcast distributors, including Apple iTunes. And you can listen and watch at the same time on YouTube. Remember, God is always faithful.